Gentlemen, welcome back to something. Getting anxious here. Satan Claus done left a little gift in my stocking. Not that kind, mine. A DJI Osmo little handheld gimbal camera. Fellas asking me what kind of gear I use all the time so they can avoid buying it. I'll tell you the thing I hate about this is right off the hop you got to get yourself a burner phone, because it won't even let you use the Jesus thing unless you let it access all your dick pics and your location data and so forth. I am not watching one for that. So I am not technically savvy, and this way you get the real deal. This is raw dog right out of the package. There's no practice, there's nothing like that. So what you see is what you get. There's a lot of camera review videos, but it's always some fucking brainiac who's a sexpert at the Jesus thing, and I ain't that. Want to go for a little fat bike? We'll test this camera out. So far, so good. The footage on the smell phone, fantastic. I don't know, I haven't edited anything, but we'll see this follow along here. This follow along feature. We'll follow this fella. Yeah. View's pretty good from back here. Back at the crib, had a proper kick at the cat. I dare say quite impressed with how well this maintains the angle of the dangle despite the heat of the meat in comparison to this. And this is the Fuyu Tech I have been using for outdoor shots and so forth. It's a real fur persnickety, and it gets jittery, and you gotta fiddle fuck around with the settings. Of course, there's no screen on here, so you gotta do it with your camera, your smell phone, and you got but 10-15 minutes of pooper or pooper chooching the chotch on this one. This one, 64 megs, 1080p at 60 hertz. I would venture to say you could probably get about 30-40 minutes in the cold out of this without an external power pack. And you can see why, of course, because there's a hell of a lot more mass to sling around here when you're using one of these scam cams or GoPros, as opposed to this guy. Now, because it's quite a bit smaller, we saw in the darkness, the crepuscular light of dusk, not the greatest low light situations, but outside in the snow, fantastical. The one weird thing is when you're in lock, pan lock, it kind of looks very robotic. You see on the fat biking, as you're turning the corner, it does one of these instead of a smooth, and you can't blame it. It doesn't know what you're supposed to be looking at, but it doesn't give you that GoldenEye PS4, PS3 puke effect. Surprisingly pleasing is how well this thing does at the follow along. We'll flash her up here, and it'll go to its extents, flash up the thing, and then if you are in follow mode, you double clack on whatever you're trying to follow. It's a little bit fucky, especially here in the cold. And it follows along just beautifully. Now, as I said, I tried this with the butts in the crepuscular light, and it didn't really do all that well. So it's a little bit janky that way. It's not rock solid. So if you're relying on getting the shot for your living, you know, you're gonna have to take a few shots to get it right. Short, curly, and well veined to the left of her it is a fantastic replacement for this. This one would be like John Henry's steam shovel or steam drill. It'd blow its guts out all over the mountainside trying to keep this gimbal in position. This guy is smart enough to know better, doesn't get all janky, and it just overheats the gimbal if you're giving her, well, if you're giving her all she'll suffer. She she phases out eventually. So yeah, good replacement for the GoPro and the external gimbal. So thanks for watching. Hey, Merry Christmas. I hope you're enjoying your Christmas season with your family. I know I am. And we'll get back to our regularly scheduled shop dickery here momentarily. So thanks for watching. Keep your dick in a vice.